In the heart-pounding world of motocross, Joel Evans was a name known for his fearlessness and work ethics. With the Queensland MX2 championship, top 10 ProMX MX1 finishes across 4 straight years, and multiple podium finishes, he was the definition of a true racer. Yet on April 27, 2025, during the ProMX round, just a few laps into the race, something unexpected happened. Join us as we cover the incredible life of Joel Evans and try to figure out the details of that fateful day which robbed the world from one of its best riders. Joel Evans was born on November 10, 1994 in Kingaroy, Queensland, Australia, into a family deeply involved in the motocross community. He grew up with relatives who were already riders, including sisters who raced and a brother-in-law who became a top-level motocross champion. So given this early exposure, Joel developed a deep interest in motorcycles from an early age of just 3 years old. His family later said in an interview that little Joel used to spend hours and hours riding his brand new YAMAHA PW50 near their home, and slowly learned the skills and improved his handling. At just 5 years old, even though being in school, all Joel could think about was motorcycles, where he transitioned to a bigger 65cc motorcycle and started competing in some local races. He was a natural on his bike, and his skills quickly shone through as he started winning trophies and even earned the nickname the Fast Kid. His family, who were always supportive of his passion for motorsport, used to drive him to the races all over from Tivoli to Gympie, often packing lunchboxes for the long trips. It was evident that from the start, Joel had an exceptional talent for riding, and it wasn't long before the motocross community started hearing his name. Then at the age of 12, he started riding faster 85cc motorcycles while taking part in state-level races and became a familiar face on the podium. And though his career was slowly gaining momentum, he managed to keep his grades stable during high school. Around this time, he also met Michelle, who would later become his fiancée and one of his biggest supporters. For years, we questioned if this was true love. How do you even know when you're so young and have already experienced life? But we chose to keep it simple, he later said. Then in 2010, when he was 16, he transitioned to Pro Junior races, where he started riding a KTM number 81 motorcycle. He later said in an interview about how much his family's support meant to him during those years. He even laughed about how their old van used to break down on the way to races, and Joel's hard work finally paid off in 2015 when he clinched the Queensland MX2 title, which was indeed a big achievement for a home racer. But the sport can be cruel. And in 2015, Joel came face-to-face with its dangers. That season, during the qualifying round of Australian MX Nationals at Moree Bridge, he suffered a major crash which changed his life completely. He was immediately airlifted to Royal Adelaide Hospital, where surgeons realized that the vertebral disc between C5 and C6 vertebrae had been completely shattered, and fragments had been embedded in his spinal cord, which required emergency removal. After the surgery, Joel spent weeks or perhaps even months in intensive care, where he started relearning basic movements. And though doctors warned him he might never walk again because of the spinal cord damage and partial paralysis, he never stopped fighting. Through days and days of physiotherapy, he slowly regained his strength, where he started progressing from standing to eventually riding again. And by 2016, he had completed rehab, and despite lingering arm weakness and surgeries, he made his way back onto the track, where he ended up earning 20 finishes in the MX2 class. Around this time, Joel also created his own YouTube channel, where he started sharing his race footage and the challenges of his recovery journey. His passion and love for the sport helped him connect with people around the globe, and within a few years, he earned a loyal following. His career slowly gained momentum, particularly in 2019, where he ended up achieving 3rd place, and by 2024, he had become a familiar face on the podium. In the lead up to the 2025 season, 30-year-old Joel Evans continued to race on the national level, while also taking part in some of the events in Asia. Most of the time, he was out there as a privateer without any factory support. Then, in late March, the opening round of the ProMX Championship took place in Wonthaggi, Victoria, which was notorious for its brutally tough terrain and chopped-up conditions. And despite the challenge, Joel pushed through and managed to secure 12th position overall while riding his number 81 Kawasaki. Word has it that Joel was in high spirits and determined to compete in the AMA Nationals in the United States. On April 13th, during the second round at Appin, New South Wales, Joel showed some major improvement, and he was just 21 points shy of the top 10 in the championship standings. Off the track, he seemed happy, perhaps because he was about to become a father and had just planned a holiday with his fiancée. "I wish I could say I was coming home to my pregnant wife," he said prior in an interview. Sadly, he couldn't have foreseen the fate that awaited him just a month later. On April 27, 2025, Round 3 of the ProMX Championship kicked off as planned at Gillman Speedway in Adelaide's northwest. Earlier that day, Joel competed in Moto 1 while riding his Kawasaki KX450, where he managed to secure 12th place. According to media broadcasts and people from the paddock, he seemed calm and was actually talking with everyone on the start line in the typical pre-race conversation. Later that afternoon, he lined up again for the second race, or in other words, Moto 2, where he was aiming to improve his standing and secure the top 10 position. That being said, at around 3:20 p.m. local time, just a few minutes into the race, something tragic happened. The incident started when Joel was navigating through the medium jump, followed by a small jumps section. As he reached the area, some of the witnesses saw that he seemed to slightly go off balance. From here, the facts of the story end, and speculations take over. According to media outlets, Joel landed awkwardly, meaning his front wheel initially made contact with the ground, and the suspension couldn't absorb the impact, which ended up in the motorcycle kicking back violently. Plus, at that speed, the sudden impact sent Joel into what some witnesses described as a high side-style crash. One theory even suggested that the rear wheel of the motorcycle hit a bump on the takeoff where he left the ground slightly twisted or sideways. In that crucial moment, when he hit the ground hard, he most likely landed on his chest or head, which caused severe injuries as well as trauma. And since it was a single bike accident, the track's medical team, as well as rescue personnel, immediately rushed onto the scene to assess the situation. As the dust settled, what initially seemed like a normal motocross crash proved to be something far more serious. Fans, as well as crew members who witnessed the incident unfolding, couldn't help but to show their concern as they saw Joel lay motionless on the ground. Realizing the urgency of his condition, the medical staff decided to treat him on the circuit to stabilize his condition. After initial procedure, he was immediately transported to the nearby hospital from Gillman Speedway for further treatment and possible surgery. That said, even after their best efforts, his injuries proved to be far more severe. And just a few hours later that night, Joel succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead at the age of 30. One minute you're talking on the line, and the next they're gone. Joel was telling me about his plans to race in America, and he seemed genuinely happy. His fellow competitor, Regan Duffy, said. Motorcycling Australia, as well as medical personnel, revealed the primary cause of death to be the massive injuries sustained during the crash. Although the official investigation report has not yet been released to the public, one of the early interesting theories suggested that Joel might have rolled on the throttle a bit too hard and was traveling around 35 to 40 miles an hour as he reached the jump section. It's believed that the front end of his motorcycle slid out from under him, which caused a high-speed low-side crash that sent him skidding along the ground and possibly hitting a rock or track obstacles. And this theory in particular seemed to be the case, as front-end washouts like this are very common in motocross and can happen without warning in a fraction of a second, leaving no room for recovery. So far, statements confirm that it was a single bike accident which took place under normal race conditions, and the inquiry findings would perhaps take months or even years to release to the public. The night after the incident, news of his tragic passing spread throughout the nation, which sent shockwaves through the motocross community around the world. Yesterday, we lost the most incredible person on this earth, the most authentic, loved, and kind-hearted soul, his fiancée said. He loved and devoted his life to the sport, which brought him so much joy, and he rode it out right till the end. On Wednesday, May 14th, 2025 at 1 p.m. local time, Joel's funeral service was held at Kingaroy Town Hall in Queensland. His family decided to live stream the ceremony, which allowed his fans and members of the motocross community to join in and pay their respects. Joel was the best brother a girl could ask for, and an even greater uncle for my girls. He used to joke about not wanting to get old. Now he never has to, his sister said while expressing her grief at the ceremony. In the aftermath of the crash, the race continued, and it was won by Kyle Webster, who decided to dedicate this victory to Joel. "You were a true legend and such a big part of this sport. Rest in peace," he said in his interview. A few days after the tragedy, the entire Australian motocross community came together to honor Joel with a tribute race at Hervey Bay. The riders there performed parade laps in his memory, which was followed by a moment of silence. Later, to show support, a GoFundMe fundraiser was launched to help his fiancée and their baby, which ended up receiving a major traction. Then, on August 30th, 2025, a few months later, the Joel Evans Memorial Day was held at Queensland Motocross Park, which featured a full day of riding, family activities, and fundraising events. Looking back on his life, one might say Joel touched lives far beyond the motocross paddock. And though his time was short, his kindness, humanity, and work ethics left a deep mark on everyone who knew him or met him. Please pay it forward. In his honor, we can all be a little kinder to each other. Joel Evans was indeed more than just a racer. He was a true legend. And like we always say, legends never die. They ride on. So if you like this story and want to watch more like this, then make sure to subscribe to our channel. Also hit the like button to show your support. That's all for today, and we'll see you in the next video.